Okay, this is Q&A for full service checkout. The question was, how do you have a full service checkout conversation if you are doing a Facebook show? So what my recommendation would be is to set up a just even a skeleton business page, meaning that you don't have to post things on it all the time. If you're working in your VIP group and you have that functioning well, where people are engaging and interacting, if you are starting to work with ScentShare, it wouldn't be too much more difficult to set up if you're posting something in your VIP group to have it automatically also post to your business page. So it would be the same content, but the business page, the difference is that it's totally public. Anyone can hop on there and like it and kind of see posts and follow. But the major benefit is that if you are doing a Facebook event, a Facebook show, if you set it up through your business page, through your business page versus your VIP group or your personal page, what happens is that anytime someone comments on anything, if they just comment like here as an RSVP, and that's the only thing that they comment on in the entire event, you have the opportunity then, under their comment, it'll say reply, like, and message. And it actually gives you an opportunity to directly message them. It doesn't go to their other folder. It will go like automatically to their messenger and pop up like a regular message would if you were friends with them. You do not need to be friends with them, but it will give you that opportunity to communicate. And I have had a ton of those after show connections and like long comments and interactions because people are getting those messages. I was messaging people on the other events when I was doing it either through my group or through my personal page, but it would go to the other folder and it was dead. Like I had no responses, and then I would have to reach out to the host and have them ask, if they could send the message to them or whatever. But there wasn't any like building the rapport like you would do with the full service checkout. And so what happens is that most often when you send that message of like, hey, it's just that blurb that's in our Facebook thing, so it's just that cut and paste, they will respond, and they'll typically, like, have had people ask questions on like earring size. I've had people say like, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm in love with this, or I've asked, you could even go into some of these specific questions. You could say, hey, you were fantastic tonight on commenting and like suggesting different things, or just interacting. Have you ever thought of doing something like this? Like you could have this full service checkout one-on-one in Messenger with someone on a Facebook show. But that was life-changing, like using it that way. And what it does is it basically, on your business page, it starts an inbox for you. And so it organizes it all really nicely. Each person that you've messaged is like in an inbox. And so then it's almost like it's Messenger, but it's not the crazy pop-up at the bottom. It's organized and nice, like you're responding to emails almost. But it has your whole thread of conversation with that person. So that is probably the number one thing that I would suggest in a way to engage people. Can you guys think of another way to make that?
No, I have a question though about that. So like on Facebook parties, we had this problem. So they don't really understand the sale even though you posted it, and they've already made the orders, some of them, before you go live. So when they're using the link, like, do you guys tell them, hey, don't order anything until after I go live, or how do you guys put it to where you're not like we did? We had to change some orders because one person bought one thing when she could have got 4 things for the same price. She just needed that extra checkout to communicate that.
Right. Have you guys had success doing it one way or the other?
I've used it as one of my, how you're posting little tidbits each day. I've sort of touched on it. And then if people the few people that kind of had a question about it, they messaged me or they like commented and I explained it to them. But yeah, other than that, I've just done it in the live part.
Yeah, I have had several who I've had to correct, just like you're explaining. And so I think I might even change my verbiage in the message that I send that I was just talking about. Because I've kind of been toying with how I could prevent that from happening.
Because you almost want them to send you what they're thinking about before they put it in, so that you can catch anything. You're like, oh, no, you should just add this, and then you can get all this. You know what I mean?
And some of that has been alleviated by having those conversations because the ones that are on there are actually engaging with me right then. So I can say, hey, what's on your list? And kind of have that dialogue, suggesting different things. The other, I think, just like what you were just saying, is maybe just making a few posts that are super, super clear ahead of time about the 2 and 4.
I've done it like either the morning of or like not tons.
You don't want to do it way in advance because you want to like say it's like a private thing for that show,
right?
And kind of like exclusive.
And it kind of baits them to actually watch your live because you want to go deeper into your sale or into explaining it. But I haven't had a ton of like ahead orders, only a couple, only a handful.
But I've even had some after my live, or maybe like they were putting them together while I was on the live, and then I get off and I'm like, oh shoot, they ordered one thing.
Have you had any people when you do like the one post where they get entries for putting their wish list items, like while they're to get them to go look at the site ahead of time, you know, to get them to click it and actually browse ahead of the party. I've done like a wish list, whatever, little picture thing, and then as the people click it, each item that they're dropping in the comments or screenshotting or whatever, that's an entry into the giveaway that I'm doing. And that gets them to like write down more stuff. And then you have it there and you're seeing it. That's one way to kind of connect it, getting to see their wish
That is
list.
one of the after party posts, but you could put it ahead of time.
After one? Okay.
It's I think in the order of it, it's listed as after the live, but you could put it like a day before or something. I like that idea a lot.
The only reason I've done it before is to try to kind of get some pre-order or ahead of orders, just to make sure that they're looking at stuff. Because a lot of the people that you're doing parties for don't know what Park Lane is, and they've never. Yeah.
Right.
I just wanted to click on it and see all the stuff. And
I know, right?
Come on.
I like that idea. I like that.
I don't know.
I know that when we did for my party, and they were doing the online part, the one part that we had problems with was they would go on to Alyssa's site, but if they clicked back or if they clicked somewhere else, the credit wouldn't go to the host.
They back out of the
It
link.
was timing out.
Yeah.
Timing out, or they would back out of it.
They would back out of the link because when they would order, I mean, there was one.
There's like one or two.
Two, yeah. That even Brittany, like she had followed the link and it had backed out, and so I did remind everyone, hey, at the end, make sure you see, you know, Alyssa for host Brittany in the top right hand corner, because I think like literally you just backed out, and I did it at work one time, and I was shopping for somebody else, and I'm like, oh wait, that's weird.
Yeah. So I do know that there is an issue with it timing out after a certain time, like if they've kind of created a shopping cart and they haven't finalized it with their payment and they go back on, that it's probably not going to credit to the right person. So that's something to be aware of. The other, I'm not sure about the backing out thing, but yes, you do have to reiterate and remind to make sure that it always says the correct host at the top that they're shopping with. So, you know, even
and
if
I do that visual thing on my lives. Like, I probably look like a tweaker when I'm on my video. But I'm like, so you're going to click the shop with me under my face, and then you're going to go over here, and it says the hostess box.
Okay, so you just map it out for them.
Yeah, because when you type that, they might not know what that means. I mean, when we type out, make sure to select so-and-so's
people are visual,
name,
so.
or put the color, the pink hostess box, and then they're going to be looking on the screen for the pink box.
Yeah, that's good. I think the more clear you can make it, so whether you're doing it in your live or you're making like a specific extra post that you're putting up, is going to be important. The other thing that I had thought about is maybe just making an extra post in the Facebook party, like if you've ordered, tag here or comment here. And that way, like, I have a record of each person who's gone in, because if something did happen where I didn't get the email, I wouldn't know that they had ordered.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do is create an extra post somewhere in there, go ahead and comment here when you've ordered for an extra entry or something like that.
Right.
And that way you can make sure that the emails and the orders that you have coming in are matching up with who's commented. And if something doesn't come through, then you'll just need to call home office first thing in the morning, and they can fix it, but you'll need to catch it first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise it's going to be a bigger deal, and they may be able to fix it, but it's a headache if it goes longer than a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think honestly, maybe at the end of your Facebook party, like after your live, you say it on your live, like, hey, if anybody has any questions on your order tonight while you're in there, just give me a call. I'll be available for the next 15 minutes or whatever. If it's too late, then okay, you can do another time. But I think while you're in the whole thing, might as well just help everyone make sure. Because I think that was our biggest thing and those were my first Facebook parties. So trying to figure out, I didn't know it was that hard to get back out of the link. And then, I didn't know someone would order a $140 necklace and not try to get
for half price.
two other things. Or not
yes, like I said, no matter how many times you say it.
So, so you just want to make sure, like, the extra, like, when you're in person, you can explain it, show them. Okay,
Right.
Do it
get this,
for
get
them.
this, and these,
Right.
and get
Right.
this.
I think it's important to somehow, add in a couple extra steps where we're reiterating that, or just double checking that we get those orders credited for the host. And obviously for us, we want our commission if we've worked for it. The other little comment I wanted to make, I forgot to add into the full service checkout, is you'll notice that this is a lot of information to talk about. So my time with Jackie was not just a minute, right, for her checkout. You can decide whether that's worthwhile for you or not. For me, when I'm at a show, I'm working, and I'd rather work as much as I can at that show than work later on calling random people on the phone to try to do this with a stranger. That person is already connected with you. You've already spent the time getting them excited about the jewelry in person. They have hopefully heard some of your sprinklings throughout the night of the fun things, business-wise and hosting. And so taking the extra, 5 minutes with each person, you are going to be at the host's house for a little bit longer. The guests are having fun. They're not going to be worried about it. If somebody does have to leave right away, I usually do say that. Like, if you need to scoot out, be sure and, give me your sheet first, and I'll go ahead and get you taken care of. And sometimes two people are riding together, and I'll just ask, like, if somebody's in front of them, I'll just say, hey, can they go in front, because they have, they're riding together. And usually people are fine about it. But I'd rather work for an extra half hour, 40 minutes, and have a lot to show for it that night with people I've already connected with than have to work that much harder later on because I didn't do that. So that's kind of like my rationale, because some people will be like, oh my gosh, that adds a lot of time to your evening. And yes, it does, but it's worthwhile. So.
And we could do it, Brittany, because it's like part of your training. You have to ask them all those questions.
There you go.
So
good. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and shut this off here.